In order for us to achieve this simplicity, there are a lot of moving parts that all need to work together like a well-oiled machine. Designing and developing a solution with all these moving parts in an area where there's either no connectivity or poor connectivity was an interesting problem indeed.
Hello, I'm Scott Stonham from TheSinteresting.tech, and today I'm joined by two wonderful people from BBD to talk about what they're doing in South Africa and the whole region. So first of all, I'll hand over and introduce Andre de Witt, who is Group Executive at BBD. And then later on we'll introduce Iddo Scholtz, who is the technical lead at BBD as well. Andre, how would you describe BBD's mission? How would you describe why you exist and the clients you aim to please and the people you aim to help?
Here at BBD, we do believe that it's all about turning our clients' ideas and dreams into reality. We do this through working very closely with our clients and through implementing highly customizable tech solutions to bring their ideas to life. In many cases, our clients reach out to us to help them gain a competitive advantage. However, in the case of ePharmacy that we're discussing today, it was all about changing people's lives for the better.
Changing people's lives for better is something I'm very passionate about with the United Nations SDGs. You can see the chart behind me, I think. But let's come on to that in a minute. Let's just talk about innovation. Tell me more about the approach of BBD to innovation.
Here at BBD, we're very fortunate to have a bunch of super bright techies. And it's all about allowing space for these super bright technical minds to come together in the context of our deep domain knowledge. Our super bright techies really enjoy the tech that they work with and the real life business problems that they solve. We do believe in rapid incremental deployment and therefore delivering value fast and optimizing as we build.
Andre, if you had to link BBD's goals to any of the UN SDGs, which ones do you believe you would align to?
Through helping our clients solve real-life problems, I do believe that we actually touch on many of the SDGs directly or indirectly. To bring it a bit closer to home, I do believe that through our bursary, learnership and grad programs, that we really give opportunity to a lot of these bright youngsters to upskill within our industry. In many cases, these youngsters don't really have the means to make it happen, and therefore their impact is so keenly felt as they bring fresh ideas into our industry and help us deliver business solutions into our community and our industry at large.
That sounds like some really pioneering work. So whilst we're talking about pioneering, if you wouldn't mind, could you, Andre, tell me a little bit about the pioneering solutions that you're providing and what are they used for?
As you know, the world is moving rapidly towards digital everything, and even more so now with people working remotely or from home. To that extent, we've developed a bunch of tools to really enable this new hybrid workforce. One such example is our Google-like search capability that we refer to as Seeker, using NLP and neural networks to allow organizations to tap into structured and unstructured knowledge throughout the organization, making it available everywhere. Other examples of accelerators that we've developed and effectively implemented at various clients include our finance and risk calculator, as well as our workflow, case management and orchestration frameworks that we've effectively deployed in various industries.
Previously, we spoke with one of your clients, ePharmacy, about the work that you did with them, and they spoke very highly of you. Could you tell me a little bit more about, from the BBD point of view, what made that project a good fit? And did that bring any other SDGs more kind of keenly into focus as you were working with them?
Well, yes, it was really about innovation in the health space and technology coming together to solve a real-life problem. Fonny and his team at ePharmacy came up with a very innovative solution to solve last-mile distribution challenges in the health space. However, it needed a robust technology solution to bring the idea to life. So it was all about innovation in the health space and technology coming together. To address your question about other SDGs, in this case, it was all about health innovation and technology coming together to address the well-being and health of citizens, and therefore directly linking to Goal 3.
If anybody watching wants to see the video with ePharmacy's Managing Director, Fanny Hendricks, then we'll provide a link afterwards. It was interesting with him actually speaking as well and getting his perspective, because it's health then kicks on with others as well, such as economic growth. So these things are all intrinsically linked. But from a technical point of view, maybe this is a good time to bring Iddo back on to ask him about some of the technical challenges. But before we do that, what made it, Iddo, from your point of view, what made the work with Witt ePharmacy a good opportunity for a very interesting project, but also a really ideal candidate to work with for BBD?
For Witt ePharmacy, it's all about addressing a real-world problem. I mean, some of their patients have to take time off work to go stand in a long queue at an overcrowded facility for them to get their much-needed chronic medication. Witt ePharmacy aims to address this issue by providing an innovative alternative. We believe in the vision and goal of Witt ePharmacy, and this is why they are an ideal match for us.
From a technical perspective, one of the things that I try and do, and one of the things I say I do through my work, is I try and talk about technology in a way that my mum would understand it. So from the technical implementation point of view, could you describe what you did in a way that we would all understand?
It all boils down to providing a patient with an innovative and alternative solution for them to collect their much-needed chronic medication right at their doorstep, alleviating the need for them to go stand in a long queue and take time off work. This is accomplished by having a third party integrate with our system that would create the parcel on our side with all the relevant parcel information. Once the parcel is created, the driver can then load and deliver the parcel. The driver will then load or deliver the parcel using either our custom-developed mobile logistics app or an ad hoc QR approach. Once the parcel is loaded, the system will send out an SMS to the patient containing a one-time PIN. The patient will then simply enter their one-time PIN, which will then open the locker door, giving them access to their medication. It's exciting, complicated, but the end result is seamless service delivery.
Those three things don't often go together: exciting, complicated, and seamless. So, I mean, they're big challenges that you must have worked hard to overcome. So tell me, how did you go about building and designing this solution?
This might sound like a cliche, but teamwork makes the dream work. The system was designed in collaboration with all the relevant stakeholders, from engineers, testers, end users, and business management, to ensure that the end product enables Witt ePharmacy to achieve their goals.
From a technical perspective, with your technical lead hat on, tell me, what was it about this solution that was so exciting?
Scott, this is indeed an exciting project with a lot of exciting components. But for me personally, one of the most exciting components would be to see the expression on a patient's face when they find their parcel inside a locker door by simply entering their one-time PIN. I mean, from their viewpoint, this is basic and simple. But in order for us to achieve this simplicity, there are a lot of moving parts that all need to work together like a well-oiled machine. Designing and developing a solution with all these moving parts in an area where there's either no connectivity or poor connectivity was an interesting problem indeed. Something that really excites us.
What were the biggest challenges you come across along the way? Is it the internet, or is there other things as well?
If I have to choose one challenge, I'd say internet connectivity was definitely one of the biggest challenges that we had to face. The vision of the Witt ePharmacy Collect and Go smart lockers was to have a hassle-free solution for patients to collect their much-needed chronic medication. And this solution must be able to operate in a third world country where internet connectivity is either very poor or non-existent. As you can imagine, this introduced some complexity with the design and development of the solution. But with the aid of our custom-developed mobile logistics app, we were able to achieve what we like to call disconnected connectivity. To put this in layman's terms, or to explain it to my mother, the mobile app serves as a data carrier between the cloud-hosted central server and the Collect and Go smart locker, enabling us to deliver parcels anywhere, regardless of internet connectivity in the area.
Now that's very innovative, a kind of local area network being created between the handsets and the lockers. But you mentioned there's a strong cloud element to this. How did you execute on that?
As we both know, healthcare doesn't rest, which means that the solution has to be available 100% of the time and scale if and when needed. And with the rise of the fourth industrial revolution and everything moving towards the cloud, this was an obvious choice. In addition, one of the core requirements was to have the solution available globally. Therefore, with AWS's global presence, 100% uptime, and easy scalability, this was an easy choice for Witt ePharmacy to make. With BBD's AWS expertise and domain knowledge, we easily deployed the solution in the AWS environment with just a few clicks.
Earlier on, you mentioned about complexity, you mentioned about exciting and seamless. That seamlessness would never have happened if there hadn't been a few hiccups along the way and lessons learned. So tell me, what were some of the biggest lessons that you learned along this journey?
Scott, that's a very interesting point you're making. And yes, I completely agree. One does not simply achieve seamlessness right out of the gate. It is something that comes over time. And one of the key lessons I've learned is that do not underestimate the end user. It is critical to properly design and develop a solution, but even then, end users find ways to surprise you. Therefore, the success of the solution is built upon agile principles, focusing on rapid incremental deployment. This allows Witt ePharmacy to quickly see results and get value. And building upon this, they are able to realign their focus to meet the needs of the citizens they serve.
I totally agree with never underestimate the end user. So maybe let's bring Andre back in. Iddo, thank you so much for taking the time to answer those questions. Andre, healthcare in South Africa, in Africa, and across the entire globe is just a massive area of focus right now and a massive concern for all of us. So I'm sure it's a very significant focus for BBD. So what can we expect from you guys moving forward?
So the next opportunity for us would be in the private healthcare space to see how we impact a wider range of citizens through better service delivery.
Andre, thank you so much to you as well for taking the time to speak with me about this. I think that wraps up the questions. So let me just say, Andre, Iddo, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you again. And I wish you a very good day. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.